If you're someone who has always wanted to get consistent clients in their online service-based business without the pressure to post on social media, I made this podcast specifically for you. I'm Leslie Stevens, and I am so excited to welcome you to the Not an Influencer show, where we chat about other organic marketing strategies that you can use to bring clients into your business quickly and easily, and the tangible tips for you to move forward faster in your business and the stories of the entrepreneurs who are doing the same every single day. You do not have to be an influencer to be an impact maker and a successful online business owner. If you have ever spent way too much time and energy pumping out endless content for social media with little to no clients in return, let's stop doing it the hard way and let's do it the easy way with the client connection method. I teach this method in depth in my free training, How to Book Consistent Clients Without Having to Post on Social Media. The link is in the description. Go ahead, click it to grab your spot. All right, I am so excited because today we have Vickie with us. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, 100%. So my name is Vickie. I consider myself a mindset coach, but also kind of a camp counselor for adults. I come from a background of high-level sports coaching. So I've coached athletic teams all the way to international competitions. And I now transfer this knowledge into businesses. So I just kind of gather that experience that I got in human performance coaching, and I apply it within companies. So I don't have my own coaching client per se. I'm more like a freelancer coach where I partner up with other businesses and I act as their supportive mindset coach on their team. So as a multidisciplinary team. So for example, I work for a business accelerator. There's a business coach, a marketing coach, a sales coach, and I'm there in charge of the mindset of the entrepreneurs. I also partnered up with a fitness company. I host retreats, fitness and mindset retreats, wellness retreats. I also partnered up with a language coach where I help with efficient communication and feeling confident when you're speaking in a second language. So that's kind of what's on my plate right now. And in 3 months, I'm officially moving on a sailboat and starting to sail around the world.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. So I'm so excited for this conversation because I feel like mindset is like the very foundation of everything that we do. And especially when it comes to creating any type of success and even bringing clients into our world. So because you have such a unique business and the way you have it set up, did you struggle at first to find people to partner with? How did you go about that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So I really struggled in the beginning because I had a hard time choosing a niche. For those of you who are into like human design and all of that, like I'm a manifesting generator. I'm a Leo Virgo rising with the Sagittarius moon. And anyway, whenever I tell that to people, they're like, oh, of course you had a hard time finding a niche. So I think that I was trying to get clients one-on-one, but I wasn't being consistent with my offer. And then I started working with my partner. So the language company I work for is my partner. And I just had so much fun coaching his clients, seeing all of his clients in a group setting once a week. So that's when it clicked. I was like, oh, I prefer group as opposed to one-on-one, which makes sense because when I was doing sports coaching, I was coaching teams, not one-on-one individuals. I'm also NLP trained, which is kind of what put in my head, oh, I need to coach people one-on-one because usually NLP is more like therapy style. And it's really when I partnered up with my boyfriend that I was like, oh, I love coaching groups and I'm really good at supporting someone else in their business. So then I kind of just played around my network and seeing, hey, would you like to create a partnership to have some extra coaching in your program? You know, it adds value to their program. It adds another specialist, another human who's taking care of their clients. And it just sort of happened. And now I'm really working on solidifying my network and just making more friends. So I don't need to always be trapped in the lead gen cycle of DMs and content and emails, which is fun, but I like what I do more. It works for me more.
I think that's brilliant because you worked with your human design And instead of like the traditional niche where you're like, I work with this specific type of person in this specific type of setting, yours was, okay, I'm going to partner with people and then
Yes.
help their groups. And I've never spoken to anybody who's done it that way, but it like makes so much sense now that you say it out loud. You're just working with your own strengths and you're turning it into a business that works well for you. So did you have like any fears or any imposter syndrome, anything like that kind of come up while you were creating this?
Of course. I worked with an NLP coach and a business coach. I think mentors are so important when you're starting out in business. If you don't have one of those, definitely get on that as quickly as you can. Definitely. I think it's just a matter of digging deep into those roots of your fear. Because, when you're afraid of something, it's never really what you're afraid of. Like if you say, I'm afraid to show up in my stories, or I'm afraid to show up on social media, that's not where you're afraid of. What is scary in showing up in your stories? What is scary in showing up in social media? It's dig deeper. Is it because you're afraid of being humiliated? Is it because you're afraid of being rejected? Is it because you don't believe that what you're sharing has value? And once you dig deeper and find the root of that, that's when you can heal and that's when you can work on it. If you just stop at the first level, which is, I can't do a video, then you're never going to get anywhere. I was never scared to show up on video personally. That was not one of my fears, but I did have imposter syndrome and other fears, for sure. Definitely.
So what would you recommend to other people? Because I know at different levels of your business, you'll experience imposter syndromes. So how do you recommend people kind of break through that until they get to their next level and then use those skills to break through it again?
Yes. One of my favorite questions is, how is it useful? Because everything that your brain creates is super smart. Everything that your brain creates has a purpose. So when I feel stuck, I'm like, okay, how's this useful? Because of course, if my brain created this anxiety or perfectionism or procrastination, it's because it's serving me or it has served me. So I love to journal, but I also love to talk. So sometimes I'm just going to ask, for example, my partner, can you just listen to me? I just need to talk it out. Don't say anything. Don't give me your opinion. Don't give me advice. Just let me kind of get there on my own. And I'm going to use one of those prompts. So how is it useful to be anxious? How has my anxiety served me so far? And once I get to the answer, I'm like, okay, is this still useful today? Is it still helping me or is it limiting me? And then I could just kind of do it. I count to 10 and I do the scary thing. But I need to go through that process. For me, I need to go through that process of finding how is it useful.
And I always say lean into the fear. So like when you're afraid of something, don't be so scared that you're turning away or you're hiding from it. Like lean into it. Be like, okay, what is it that I'm afraid of? Question yourself, like you were just saying, and then get curious about it, and then like start to challenge it, like push back, and you're gonna get further so much faster. And I think that takes a little bit of practice too, because the first time you do it, when you start questioning your own thoughts, it seems kind of weird. But we aren't necessarily our thoughts, and everything we think isn't true. And we get to choose what we think. But taking that power for ourselves, I think it's a little bit scary and a little bit intimidating. But the more 100%. You get to practice at it, I think that changes everything. So you mentioned that you get most of your clients through networking, right?
Yes.
So I think so many people underestimate networking and also are kind of intimidated by it. But I personally feel like it's more natural and it's more comfortable to just network. So let's take out the word. And can you describe to people what networking really is?
So networking is really about to cherish, care, and expand your network. At least for me, that's what it means. I try never to assume what is this person going to bring in my life, because I don't know. I have no idea what this person has come in my life for. So whether it's someone opening the door for you at the shopping mall or this fancy entrepreneur that you're meeting at a retreat, you never know what is going to happen, what's going to stem from that little beginning, right? So the first thing I would say for someone who's getting into networking is first start to make the most of the network you already have. So I know for me in my healing journey, we're talking about fears and everything. I took the time to reconnect every single bridges that I have burned since I was 13. Okay. So I wrote to old high school friends saying, hey, how's your life? How's it going? Do you want to have a FaceTime? And just reconnecting all those bridges and making sure that we were all on the same page and asking them, how can I help you? How can I, you have you work in a chocolate factory. I'd love to go and taste your chocolate. Oh, you own a coffee shop? Awesome. I'll come and try it. You have a catering company? I need a caterer for my next party, and really try to keep those connections. So that was the first thing that I did, building those bridges. The second thing I did was I set an alarm on my phone. For me, it's every Friday afternoon where I take an hour just to reconnect with old friends. So I asked my friend Kim, or I asked an entrepreneur friend, hey, how's your business doing? So I really used that time. And it's like an appointment, a doctor's appointment. It's set up in my agenda. And for 1 hour, all I do is to cherish and care for those relationships that I have. And even sometimes I use it to call my grandmother. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be business related. It's just about creating a habit to nourish past relationship. Once that has been in place, then I started to create new relationships. So I tried to meet 2 new people every week. So at the end of the year, that's 100 new people. And again, never know what can happen with those 100 new connections. There are tons of ways to do that. Sometimes I just cold DM someone on LinkedIn or Facebook. I'm also on Lunch Club. Do you know Lunch Club?
I don't. I haven't heard of it, but now I'm going to look.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. So Lunch Club is a networking website where you kind of create a profile and what kind of people you want to meet and availability. And they connect someone with you every week. So for me, it's every Friday morning at 9 a.m. I meet a new entrepreneur. That's
incredible.
It's really well made. It's invitation only. So I'll send you my link so that you can join the
Thank you.
It's really fun. And at the end, you can kind of answer a little survey of, is this the kind of person you want to meet with? So as you stay on the platform, the matches get better and better and better. There's also Shaper. So SHAPR. I don't know if you know this. This is an app. This is like if LinkedIn and Tinder had a baby.
Yeah.
So you're swiping entrepreneurs, you're swiping professionals. And once you have a match, then you can go on a Zoom call or a coffee chat or anything that you want. So I use those 2 systems to network and meet new people every week.
That's fantastic. And it's all about building those relationships. And I think that so often we get caught up in trying to get likes or engagement and those kind of vanity metrics on social media. We forget that it's about building a relationship with people so that we're able to support them. Because most of the time, we're only going to be able to support a certain smaller amount of people at a time. And as we bring clients into our business, it's usually 1 at a time. And if they don't know, like, or trust you because they're just scrolling past your Instagram, if you just spend that 1 hour every single week, it's going to happen so much faster. And people just totally kind of disregard it just because it's not the norm anymore. Yeah. And it's so much more normal to just post and kind of hope for the best and hope somebody sees it and wants to work. Yeah, the post and pray method. That's what I call it. But it's about those relationships. And that's what I think, like, being in service in a service-based business is all about building relationships anyways. If you just take that approach from the very beginning, things happen very quickly. And people buy from people anyways. Like, people, when they're creating all of their content, they're trying to connect with people. And social media is really just starting that initial conversation where it's not necessary to actually start that conversation. You can go directly to these people or use these apps and like calling your grandma. Like, you don't know, like maybe she's going to like give you the words of encouragement you need that week to keep going. And then maybe your friends are going to meet up with somebody else that they know and they're like, oh my gosh, I know the perfect person who could help you with what you're struggling on. Like, you never know. And that's where planting those seeds in those relationships and nurturing them is the most powerful thing you can do in business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100% agree with you. 100%. And I just want to add, like, you asked me about my fears and blockages. Like, for me, money was a big blockage. And especially when it comes to balancing sort of like the masculine and the feminine energy of just kind of energetically attract money made no sense to me until the day I understood that money comes from people. And people, you can easily attract energetically and have been attracting your whole life. You know, if you think of all the people who had an impact on your life, like, you co-created those relationships. So I was like, oh, I need to stop praying for money. I just need to start praying being like not the right word here, but I need to start visualizing and creating affirmations about attracting the right relationships and the right people, not amounts of money.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that, because I was in a mastermind group for a while and they would always have a set income goals for the week and the month and the quarter and all of that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll follow the system. I'll set my goals, but I wasn't reaching them. And it's because that wasn't like my core motivating factor. And I decided to switch it to, how many people can I help this week? How many people can I help this month? How many people I can help this quarter? And then it was like no brainer. I was like, I cannot wait to help this many people. And it's something that I got really excited about. But it's this mentality of, oh, people are hitting their 10Ks, their 50Ks, like those crazy numbers. And it's like, okay, well, let me do the math. How many people do I need to help at X, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, how can I help one person today? And that's another thing where it's like, work with your strength, works with what really motivates you, not just somebody else's system. That it's logical, because to have a business, you need to make money, but the way you think about it is everything.
Yeah.
So what are 3 tangible tips that you would give somebody to move forward faster in their business right now?
So meet one new person, one new entrepreneur every week. What am I saying? Meet one new entrepreneur every week. Take time to rest. Like, I have 2 entrepreneur friends I met with last week, and they make a bit more money than me, but they look exhausted and they don't have any more joy in their heart. Like, be very honest with yourself about what kind of lifestyle you want and how you want to feel at the end of the day in your business, because that's what matters. It's not the 10K, it's how you feel. And you can get to 10K by feeling amazing. I'm not hitting 10K months right now. I'm a little bit under that, but I'm living such a beautiful life and I have so much peace inside of me, and no amount can beat that, you know, no amount of money can beat that.
Your version of success.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So I guess that would be my second tip. Like, be very honest with yourself about what your version of success feels like, sounds like, tastes like. I would definitely say that. And then my third tip, start building your email list from the beginning. I don't think I started early enough. And I, remember that social media, you can be banned from your Facebook account tomorrow or your Instagram account tomorrow. The only thing that you own is your email list. So cherish that and start that as soon as you can. Even if you don't use it, even if you don't have the time to send newsletter, just build those emails and keep those.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Especially as you're meeting those new people every single week. It's easy to just grab their email and then keep them in your contacts. I teach something very similar. I call it the client connection method. And I just say to send 5 messages every single week. something that's super manageable, and you just send the messages. It doesn't matter if they even respond. It's reaching out, it's making those connections, it's having those people know that you're thinking about them, and it keeps you top of mind. So it's not worrying about the outcome, it's putting out that energy. And when you put out that energy, it will come back. And sometimes it's not even the way you think it is. I've had weeks where I'll send maybe like 10 or 15 messages and 5 or so will respond, but then I'll get 2 clients. And I'm like, that's not any of the people I was talking to. It's people I've never met before. But it's because when you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself in the right place to receive all of this. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today and sharing all of your brilliance. So where can people find you to connect with you?
Yes. So if you're able to spell my last name, it's very simple. All of my social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, is simply my name, Vickie Leuenberger. You can pronounce it whichever way you want. It's all correct. I also have a podcast that is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's called Aim for More. It's really short, 5 to 7 minute truth bombs. I drop it and then I give you some homework and then I leave. So if you have 5 minutes, some people wash it in the morning while they wash it. They listen to it in the morning while they wash their face and brush their teeth. So if you want to get into that, that'd be amazing. And don't hesitate to reach out and connect. I love making new friends and meeting new people.
Amazing. And I'll leave your links below so that everybody can find you really easily and they know how to spell your name.
Awesome. Even better.
But thank you so much. If you want to learn more about different marketing strategies to bring consistent clients into your business without feeling the pressure to post on social media, make sure you watch the free training on the client connection method, which is in the description below. Thanks for hanging out with us today.